Welcome into Jags A.M. Victory Monday edition here on December 1st as the Jaguars are big winners over the Titans yesterday. And we want to bring you our big things today because why not go over another Jaguars win? Brought to you by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees. Big thing number one is thankful. It's Thanksgiving weekend last week, and the Jaguars were able to go out and dominate, Brian, and we saw, from my perspective at least, them to go out and handle a game that we knew they could handle.
You know, it was interesting. I read a lot of the national websites, and there were a lot of people that were, throwing out bold thoughts. And a bold thought was that the Titans were going to upset the Jaguars because their rookie quarterback had 2 games, both losses, where he didn't have a turnover. That's all it takes to beat the Jaguars? Well, so that's the perception that people have of this team. Yeah, they beat the Cardinals, but they're not that good. So it was on the coach and this team to go handle business. And outside of one drive, the Titans didn't even show up. And the Jaguars pummeled them, which is exactly, and I'm not even talking about all the scuffles in the second half. They went and took care of business. Something this team hasn't done enough of in recent years is to take care of business. And they did it, John, I thought, in a very commanding way.
Yeah, it's been a while since this team has had some methodicals. In 22, remember, they got hot. I think it was 22. I forget the years now. When they went to the playoffs 9-8, they got hot and everything was dramatic. You need to build postseason seasons. You need some methodical wins over teams you ought to beat, and that felt methodical. Kudos to the defense, by the way, for figuring out the Titans' early script and then shutting them down. Mm-hmm. That felt dicey right at first, but then good teams handle that. And look, the Jaguars are turning into a good team. And
they did it, Kai, on defense especially, right? John mentioned the early success that the Titans had. No Eric Armstead, no Trayvon Walker. Okay, they were able to figure it out. Same thing on the offensive side of the ball.
Some great adjustments in game we saw there for sure. Our big thing number 2 is grateful because we also saw a complete game from Trevor Lawrence, who played very well. They didn't get the rush game going very much at all, but they were still able to kind of utilize the offense and the weapons that he had out there. And Trevor Lawrence talked a little bit about the rivalry.
There is that, dislike for sure, but there's a respect too of, how the game's going to be played. It's going to be physical. You're going to get their best shot, and, I'm sure they know the same when they play us. So, there's definitely a little something to it, and I think it's a good thing. That's what makes football fun.
John, football is fun, and it's certainly fun again when you're playing meaningful games in November and December.
Yeah, it is fun. I want to talk about Trevor just a little bit. I think it's significant that the passes that got this team going yesterday, 3rd and 8 to Parker Washington across the middle, and the next play to Jacoby Myers for 50 yards, 2 passes, I think it was 76 yards, then the TD to Brenton Strange. All 3 of those guys are guys we've talked about for the last couple of weeks that he trusts. He knows where they're going to be. He's building chemistry with those guys. It bodes well for what's coming up, that he is connecting with those guys and that those guys are making some things look easy and smooth.
Last week on Monday, my hot take was Trevor will be just fine. And it was because I liked what I saw from him coming after that 3rd interception. And he continued that on Sunday in Nashville, where he was composed, where he was comfortable in the pocket, where he threw decisively. The pass that he threw for Brenton Strange's touchdown, he was almost flat-footed in the pocket. He was so comfortable. He was well protected, which speaks well of an offensive line that was piecemealing things together as well. But Trevor Lawrence kept it going from the end of the game in Arizona through yesterday, and I just think that we saw a confident, consistent quarterback. Elite? No. Really good? Yes.
Our final big thing today is going to be hopeful because the Jaguars are in first place in the AFC South with tiebreakers, but they're tied with the Colts, which makes this week's game against the Colts here at Everbank Stadium a big one. Brian, we knew it was going to be no matter what, but now with all the stakes surrounding it, how do you make it a big deal but not make it too big of a deal?
No, you can't. You can't, because the fan base has been waiting for a game like this since the end of the 22 season. For Liam Cohen, this is what you hoped for, that you would have a team that was in position to make some noise about the playoff race. Well, it's better than you could have hoped for because you're in first place in the division. And if you win on Sunday, and if the Chiefs beat the Texans, you're in a really good spot. But this game is really big because if you don't win, and the Texans beat the Chiefs, you see, you put yourself in a position now where you're on the outside looking in. So this is a really big game for this football team. But, John, I don't get the sense that that's a problem. You know, you've seen the veteran leadership. Eric Armstead has been very solid for this team on and off the field. Josh Hines-Allen, same way. The quarterback taking that up. I think this team is primed for a big game, and to know that it's a big game and to step on the field on Sunday afternoon in front of what should be an excellent crowd expecting a big game.
Yeah, look, I don't know if the Jaguars will win Sunday. I don't think they'll be overwhelmed by a big game. This team has beaten 5 teams with 500 records or better. The AFC South, I expect it to go down to the final game, final weekend in some capacity. I don't know if the Jags win this one. I don't know if they, but it's 3 really good teams I think are evenly matched. I think the Jaguars feel like they belong there. I think they're right, and I think there'll be 4 or 5 games at the end of the season where every game you're in the fourth quarter looking at your game and the scoreboard. This is the fun stuff.
The Division ones are always the fun stuff. So stay with us here on Jags A.M. After the break, we're going to go over the highlights from yesterday's win over the Titans.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium, because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Huddle up, My Gate Rewards members. Football is back. Celebrate with the Duval Meal Deal at Gate. Right now, grab a personal pizza and any 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.99. No matter what combo you choose, this meal's the perfect play. Happening now through January 5th, 2026. See store for details. A deal that's a victory for every fan. Gates got you.
Hey, I'm Logan Cook, punter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or stolen is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn on the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. But remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead, have a designated driver, keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
The stadium bathroom line. It's like TSA and the DMV merged in the waters of rush hour traffic, and you're in it. No closer to the bathroom than you were 5 minutes ago. Just closer to, well, going to the bathroom. You know what actually takes a minute? Pre-ordering an Uber so no one drives impaired after the game. Take a minute, make a plan. Never drive impaired. Go to takeaminutenow.com. From Diageo, Mad, Uber, and the NFL. Please drink responsibly.
Officer? Can I get your perspective as a man of the law?
You know I'm a mall cop, right?
You see this Hyundai Santa Fe? I only paid for it.
Whoa.
Right? I'm not in trouble, am I?
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get a Hyundai Tucson with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or lease for $259 a month. Hyundai is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Offers end December 1st. Call 813-867-0006 for complete offer details.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. ZipChair is furniture for fans. Welcome back to Jags A.M. on a Victory Monday. And we love it on a Victory Monday. I think 3 in a row at this point, right? So it's always good to recap a win. And so we're going to start out with what we saw on offense. And Jacoby Myers, who was added 4 weeks ago at this point to this roster, came in and had probably one of his best games that we've seen so far. Obviously a ton of a trust factor there with Trevor Lawrence, but this play over the middle, I believe the longest pass of his career, 50 yards. And how about BTJ back in the game, setting some blocks there as well. You got to like that, seeing the buy-in all around, and then obviously capping it off with a touchdown. John, it was nice to see early to get this going.
Yeah, and an aside on BTJ, during some of his troubles this year, I've gotten emails from, oh, he's going to be a problem, he's going to be an attitude. I've never gotten that feeling.
They don't know who he is then. It's not the kind of person he is.
This kid wants to win. He wants to be good. He loves being around this team. That was a big-time play and show of commitment. And Jakobi Meyers, look, in 4 games already, there's a difference sometimes, Brian, between making plays and really mattering in the offense.
Right.
He's one of the engines of this offense now. What a midseason pickup.
Absolutely. And when you talk about Brian Thomas Jr., think about what he could learn from Jakobi Meyers. People forget Meyers was an undrafted rookie who made his way through the Patriots out to Vegas, and then the Jaguars had to have him. His work ethic, his precision in his route running, the way that he is always where he's supposed to be. The 23rd pick in the draft, whatever Brian was, first-round pick, all the hoopla around him. He can learn a lot from the way that Jakobi Meyers works, and Jakobi learned it because that was the only way he was going to make it in the NFL.
Let's talk a little bit more about special teams, because one of my favorite plays from yesterday was LaQuinn Allen Jr., who, if he isn't one of your favorite players already, he should be.
Yes, he is.
Just dives headlong into this play that you think is over and somehow jars the ball loose. Originally wasn't called a turnover, challenged by Liam Cohen, and it was pronounced a turnover at this point. But he does all the little things. When you talk about football players, LaQuinn Allen.
All of that. But, the other thing that I loved about him was, did you see early in the game when Jeffrey Simmons was flustered when he was pointing at LaQuinn Allen Jr., when he was walking off? He got chipped hard by him on one particular play. And the rest of the game, 36 was in his ear. So much so that when you go and look at the play that had to be broken up on the sideline, Arden Key's hit on Trevor Lawrence, you see 36 and 98 having a little collision in the pile, and the quarterback having to go and turn 36 around. I just love the intensity with which he plays with. In the first half, he was that little birdie that just would not go away, and Jeffrey Simmons was flustered by him.
I would call him that little gnat that doesn't go away, but that's really disrespecting how good a player he is. You talked about favorite player. He's the favorite player of a lot of coaches, staff in this building. They love this kid. He loves playing football. It shows. What a late round pickup.
Jaguars DNA. More of that, please.
Absolutely. Football player for sure. Let's look at Brenton Strange's touchdown. We finally got him back off IR last week. He kind of been working his way back a little bit, but John, the trust that he has from Trevor, clearly still there.
Yeah, Kai, I think you mentioned a little bit in one of your quick thoughts, just the more with receivers, but this team's ability to adapt, change on the fly, bring guys back. I think about the guys who made big plays: Parker Washington, Brenton Strange, Jakobi Meyers. Second, third week of the season, Brenton was involved. You know what I'm saying? They are figuring out what they are on the fly, and it's the reason they're a much better team in Week 12 than they were in Week 1. Brenton Strange, I've been saying all year, he might be the best player on the roster, with apologies to Josh Hines-Allen right now.
Listen, they also show you who this quarterback is, because those are players, Parker Washington, Jakobi Meyers, and Brenton Strange, who are always where they're supposed to be. And we've made the reference here back to 2022 when you had Marvin Jones, C.J. Kirk, Christian Kirk, and Zay Jones, and they were always where they were supposed to be, and the quarterback played his best stretch of football when he had guys he could depend on. Well, we're starting to see the quarterback play his best stretch of football of the year, and there's no surprise that 85, 11, and 3 are the guys who are helping him get there.
Yeah, Kai, what Brian touched on might be the storyline of the last 6-7 weeks of the season. I think that if what we're seeing with Trevor and that trust factor with the receivers is real, which I think it is, this becomes a different, I think it's a playoff team anyway.
Yeah.
But if that's real, this becomes really interesting.
And what they have, if they can get it out of him, is an elite talent in Brian Thomas Jr. that they didn't have in 2022. Think about what that could do to take this offense to another level.
Propel it even farther, absolutely. Let's look at this 4th and 1 and then the rushing touchdown for them, because also kind of staying, as we've seen, in later games, sometimes they can let people get back into things. They didn't get the first down on this play. It was challenged when Trevor rushing forward. They went for it on 4th and 1, which I don't think anybody was surprised Liam Cohen wanted to do. Then they get a touchdown, and then not that it didn't feel like it was already kind of out of reach at that point, but that really solidified it, and they kind of stayed with their foot on the gas.
Listen, this team played tough yesterday. And the Titans, the one thing, John, that you knew that they could do was play physical up front. Because when you have a big body like Jeffrey Simmons who can wreck things, you have to be tougher than they were. And it was good to see that the Jaguars were. Yeah,
the toughness showed up. I mean, I think the Titans, there were some moments, and Trevor talked about in the postgame, that they wish they had finished better, the Jaguars. But the reason they didn't finish better is the Titans are a pretty good defensive front. I thought key to this game for the Jaguars, when they did put together drives, they finished them with touchdowns. Yeah. There are a couple of key moments. One we missed at the very end of the first half when the Titans had a chance to maybe get a touchdown and get back to 15-9, 15-10. You get the 4th down stop and then you get the field goal. 15 points instead of a 6-point game. Big swings in the NFL that turn games into blowouts. That was one, and this drive we just showed was another.
Let's talk about some of this toughness when your punter starts getting after it with the other team. That's always interesting. Also, I do want to point out, though, on this play, I'm a little bit concerned about him and Ross love to try to get involved into things, and I'm concerned about Logan Cook's shoulder, so we'll see what that actually ends up looking like. He stayed in the game, continued to punt, but this hit right here when he went down, and I was like, did we just lose the punter?
Yeah, listen, I love the attitude. I love the toughness. Who doesn't in that locker room love Logan Cook? But
let's be smart with it.
You are the only punter on the roster, and you can be a weapon for this team, especially as you get deep into December. Let's play smart football.
Yeah, I might have saved a touchdown, though. So, I kind of get his instinct. You're right. I wrote in the ozone today. Well, Logan Cook has had enough. He's had enough.
He's not having none of it. Because then we'll get to this fight that kind of bridged out after this. What I like to point out with this fight that Logan Cook's also involved in, he was in on the Azeez Al-Shire fight last year against the Texans as well. So if you think Logan Cook's the one to mess with, normally you go for the puncher. That is not true.
Oh, no. Logan Cook is all Southern man now. I mean, you see him in his big truck pulling up. I mean, this is a guy who likes to be in the action. And I love the way that he ran across the field for this. And you'll also notice how quickly Ross Matisic, who was out of the game with a back injury, was in there throwing people to the ground to get them off of his punter. It was just a moment in the game with a lot of penalties, and that's kind of embarrassing. But it was also a moment of toughness, and I know that's a theme that you're really hitting on.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Here's Matisic pushing.
Yeah, it was, I'm not diminishing. Those guys are really good friends. They were in each other's wedding. I think Logan administered Ross's wedding. Cool story. Liam, after the game, I think said it best. They played with an edge for sure, but let's be a little smart.
Maybe not lose the entire special teams getting hurt. Yeah. Definitely something to keep an eye on. But good to see them all kind of, and I think Dewey spoke about this a little bit on post-game radio. They played together for a while, and they've gone through some things we know in the past couple of years, but just the fight for each other on that team is great to see, and even some of the younger guys like LeQuint buying it as well.
Yeah, as much as you joke around about special teams brouhahas, the element that he touched on is exactly right. There is a closeness on this team, the core of which I think are guys who have been here and been through some stuff. I think that'll serve them well.
And that locker room, especially as you get in now to the really gritty part of the schedule where you've got the Colts, then 2 weeks later you go to Denver, and 3 weeks later you're in Indianapolis. That locker room has to be together. And something like that, something like Logan Cook and Ross Matisic and Dewey, can pull a lot of guys around them.
Absolutely. Stay with us here on Jags A.M. After the break, we'll give you our hot takes coming up.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
The moment you drop off donations at a North Florida Goodwill, your things start new lives. A donated jersey helps someone suit up for success through education and training. A pair of old cleats helps a job seeker step confidently into new career opportunities. Every donation fuels Goodwill's mission to provide education, training, and career opportunities, removing barriers to employment and building brighter futures across our community. To find your nearest donation center and learn more, visit goodwillnorthfl.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors before the new year? During Renewal by Anderson's December sales event, buy one, get one 40% off. And with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months, it's never been easier to say yes. Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida, designed to help you save on energy bills while keeping your home comfortable year-round. Offer ends December 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow! Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval! Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
Hey, I'm Logan Cook, punter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or stolen is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn on the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. But remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead, have a designated driver, keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
Welcome back to Jags A.M. Hot Takes today, brought to you by Firehouse Subs.
We need everybody. We need the city to show up, and support us, and because we want to make them proud. We're continuing to try to put a product on the field that our city and community can be proud of, and that's something that means a lot to our team. It means a lot to our players, and we want to continue to do that. So as much support as we can get from Duval, that would be huge.
It's going to be a big one on Sunday. Hopefully a good turnout for everybody. I'm excited.
Yeah, there's a buzz in the city. I mean, you can feel it this morning as you talk to people. I was at Publix, and there was 4 people that wanted to talk about it at 7 o'clock this morning.
Of course. Brian, what's your hot take for us today?
The Jaguars are the #1 run defense, and the Colts running back, Jonathan Taylor, is the #1 running back, and he leads the league with 15 rushing touchdowns. But I'm going to go a different direction with it and focus on just the rushing numbers. I think the Jaguars will have a better day on the ground than the Colts. The Colts the last 2 weeks have failed to crack the 100-yard mark against the Chiefs and the Texans. And I think that the Jaguars, we've been talking about toughness. I think after yesterday, when they didn't really run the ball very well, will come out focused on stopping Jonathan Taylor, but more importantly, on getting their running game going. And I think it's a pride thing, it's a toughness thing. I think here at home that the Jaguars will have a better day on the ground than the Colts, and I think that's why the Jaguars will win the game. I'm calling that shot on Monday because I believe that they will have the better running offense on Sunday.
Yeah, and I think the good news on that front is Trevor Lawrence in the last few weeks, I get the interceptions against the Cardinals, but starting to make plays downfield more. Yep. And I think Colts defense and all defenses have to concern themselves with that some now. You wonder, I haven't watched Indy. Those rushing numbers tell me that teams are stacking against Jonathan Taylor, and right now Jones with what's injured, going on, that may be advantage Jaguars there. We'll see on Sunday. You hope it is.
There's one more reason why I think that the Jaguars will have success running, and that's DeForest Buckner, who is a game wrecker, is on injured reserve and not playing, and they don't look the same on the defensive front without him.
I went with there's no questioning this team's toughness at this point. And I'm not sure if you've watched this team from week one why you would have questioned it anyway. But to do what they did yesterday, it'll be overlooked when you analyze this season because it's, you should beat the Titans. And they should have beaten the Titans. But the way they did it, the focus that took, Dewey said after the game, the reason that, the key to this week was that they didn't look ahead. It's not always easy to do. So you have to be impressed with the culture, all that stuff we talk about that Liam Cohen has instilled in this team. I thought his demeanor after the game yesterday was very matter-of-fact and focused. You play all these games and you go through all this to get here. And has that ever felt truer than it does right now? No. Meaning all the ups and downs, but here you are, you're 8-4, everything's in front of you, this is what it's about. And the fact that he has made this a strong mental and physical team is really impressive 12 games in.
Well, when they came in, Tony, James, and Liam together, they talked about Jaguars DNA and they wanted football players. They wanted tough guy football players. And just look at the season that Eric Armstead has put together, right? After being a disappointment last year, he bought in completely and has been a force, not just in the middle of the defense, but he's been that guy in the locker room as well. They got an older vet who had a salty, didn't have a great taste in his mouth after the way that last season went, who completely bought in and has helped lift this thing up. And they're the number one run defense in large part because of the way that he has played. And I just think if you sidle up next to Tony out on the practice field during the week, he will tell you, we want football players. And that's kind of the mentality that they've got in the locker room now. Tough guys will fight you for every inch of the field, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely. One of mine's a little bit of ahead of itself. We're not quite sure yet, but I am a bit concerned about Parker Washington, who left the game with a hip injury. He did not return, and knowing how tough he is and normally will play through, my concern is a little bit, if they lose him, to me, the loss of Parker Washington would be bigger than the loss of Travis Hunter even to this team right now. Because while we talk about what he does on the offense, Parker Washington's role on special teams has shifted at least 2 or 3 games in favor for the Jaguars this season. And without him out there on punt returns, I'm not sure what it would look like in some of these other games. And obviously the loss on offense would be huge.
Well, he's my MVP. I mean, the way that he impacted offense, the way that he came and helped the quarterback lift his game back up, and the way that he has been on special teams, I thought he was the most valuable player on the roster. It would be a big loss, and we saw a hip injury take Brenton Strange, and we don't know at this point if it's even the same thing. But if it is a hip injury, it could be a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is we've reached the point, we've seen this team so often this year sort of just play through situations that my first instinct is, well, they'll be fine. But there is a tipping point, and Parker Washington may have turned himself into such a tipping point. I mean, you loved the trust. We talked about the trust that Trevor's having with these guys. You'd love to go into the last 4 or 5 games of the season with Strange, Jacoby, Parker Washington, and now BTJ coming back. Parker's a big part of that trust.
We'll get an update on that hopefully later on this week, maybe today, but we'll definitely know something a bit later on in this week about what the timeline for him is going to end up looking like. But stay with us here on Jags A.M. We'll tell you what's coming up for the rest of the week after the break.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
What's the best part about lawn care during the winter? You can give it a rest. Lawns only need watering up to once a week. Really, that's it. Using less water means you're saving time and money that you can put towards something else. Before you run your sprinklers, remember, give it a rest and only water up to once a week. For more information, visit waterlessflorida.com.
The stadium bathroom line. It's like TSA and the DMV merged in the waters of rush hour traffic, and you're in it. No closer to the bathroom than you were 5 minutes ago. Just closer to, well, going to the bathroom. You know what actually takes a minute? Pre-ordering an Uber so no one drives impaired after the game. Take a minute, make a plan. Never drive impaired. Go to takeaminutenow.com. From Diageo, Mad, Uber, and the NFL. Please drink responsibly.
The kick is up. It's good! Field goals for Firehouse Subs are back. That means when the Jags score from deep, you do too. Anytime the Jags score a field goal that's 40 yards or more, you can get a free medium sub with the purchase of any other medium sub, online or in the app for 4 days following the game. So cheer on the Jags, watch for the big kicks, and get your buy one, get one free medium sub at participating Firehouse Subs throughout Jacksonville when you use the app. The hottest subs in Duval. See firehousesubs.com for offer terms.
At GEHA, we stand behind our members because we were founded by members. So with zero shareholders to mind, we keep our members in mind by offering a health plan for every stage of life. Plus, hearing and fitness discounts. At GEHA, one thing is clear. Your health isn't our business. It's our purpose. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. Visit GEHA.com to find your federal health plan.
Officer, can I get your perspective as a man of the law?
You know I'm a mall cop, right?
You see this Hyundai Santa Fe? I only paid for it.
Whoa.
Right? I'm not in trouble, am I?
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get a Hyundai Tucson with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or lease for $259 a month. Hyundai is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Offers end December 1st. Call 813-867-0006 for complete offer details.
The upcoming Jaguars-Colts game presented by Hyundai. Test drive a new Hyundai today, only at your local Hyundai dealer.
Hey, how's that feel? Guys, earning to play meaningful games in November and December, guys. That's what that is. We have earned this right. Have earned it. Okay? Guys, winners win. Winners win.
Great job, fellas. Hey, keep rolling. Get healthy. Guys stepping up. It was huge. Let's keep rolling. Jags on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes!
Winners win, guys, and we're winners right now. The Jaguars are first place in the AFC South. Feels pretty good.
Just win. Just keep winning and take care of business. If you do, then neither the Colts nor the Texans can do much to you.
Final thought, I know we're getting out of here. We really haven't mentioned Devon Hamilton.
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
Just because the show meandered different directions and it's such a big game. I'm efforting him for the Ozone podcast this week. But what a fun story for him to come in and long snap for, a quarter and a half. He had 5 snaps. They all came off. I mean, there are a couple of,
high and
but guess what? He hadn't done that even practice since training camp. So credit to D-Ham. That was fun.
And I do think it'll get lost because we'll put this game to the side with the magnitude of the Colts game coming up. But the way that Cole Van Landen moved positions, the way that they had to adjust on defense, the way that Devon Hamilton had to step in, the way that this team found a way to get the job done with key players on the sideline speaks to not just the culture, but the way that this team is constructed, that they're able to overcome things like that. Now, this is a completely different level this week against the Colts, but it was impressive to see them all adjust.
And don't forget, Hamilton did that with the game still in the balance in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
Where if a snap sails over Logan's head,
game could be completely different.
You're talking safety, you're talking point swings. So, again, it was pretty cool to see.
Absolutely. We saw Wyatt Milam for the first time as well, and some other injuries kind of taking place. So we'll hope to get some updates later on that this week, but we'll be back with you as it's a big week for the Jaguars taking on the Colts for first place in the AFC South. Up for grabs. We'll see you later on this week on Jags A.M.